You are watching Stories from the Top, B2B Sales Buzz with Baxavanis, and I'm your hostess, Jennifer Baxavanis. Today's sales tip comes from David Bradley. Dave is the director of Turnaround, which is the leading team building specialist in the Gulf. They don't really create team building activities that make you feel warm and fuzzy after, but they create those activities based on the KPIs of the organizations that they're working with. So they're very purpose-driven team building activities. I asked Dave a pretty sensitive question. How is business going right now with the slowdown in the market? He laughed and he said that actually they have more opportunities than ever right now. I asked him to put his money where his mouth was. Does he have any numbers to prove that? And he said with the implementation of the CRM, they've been looking at their closing rates, and right now they're between 75 to 80%. So please stay tuned right now for the introduction and the sales tip from David Bradley. Okay. Hey, Dave, how are you doing today?
Very good, Jen.
Great. Give us a small introduction of yourself and Turnaround.
So we set up 12 years ago in Dubai. We focus on team performance and team building. We work with most of the big multinationals in the region, but also lots of the major government agencies as well. We run between 150 and 200 team building programs every year.
Great. One of the things I've always enjoyed discussing with you has been sales. I know that in your past life in a different country, you were working as a sales consultant, and we have always had great conversations about sales and sales techniques and sales methodology. And I know that you have a few programs that are also for team building that are based around sales. So putting aside the team building programs for sales, you obviously have to acquire new clients using sales methodologies. So what would be your sales tip to my audience?
Yeah, it's interesting with my background around consulting and training in sales, and I still have a passion working with sales teams. So a lot of the teams we work with are, for example, regional B2B sales teams. But one of the fun things about that background is actually putting it into practice myself. So when we set up over 12 years ago, we were very clear, my business partner and I, that we wanted to focus on team building with a strong purpose. So it wasn't just about the fun sort of rah-rah, which was very common. To do that, we knew that we needed to be more consultative in our sales approach. So just to give you an idea, over the last 5 or 6 years, we've run a CRM system, and we use Salesforce.com. And interestingly, our sales results, our closing rates are between 75 and 80%. Took us some time to get to that, but I think one of the things that we've enjoyed is bringing our small sales team up to that level as well. And one of the main things that we do, which I think lends itself to your question, is when we go into a client meeting, we're not just going in to present solutions, present ideas. We're not just going in with an intention to sell. We're going in with the intention to actually help a client make a decision that's going to benefit them. And through that, it takes a lot of the pressure off. You know, we're not having to do smart pitches or presentations. It actually starts with asking some questions to understand the gaps that our clients have.
Excellent. So can you share with us a story where you have walked in and said, I'm not going in with the intention of selling, and been able to use this tip in order to help out the potential client?
Sure. Well, an event that I ran just a few weeks ago was very, very typical. Where when I went into the meeting, I was with the regional managing director and the HR director. They had contacted us specifically wanting a team building activity for the end of their regional management conference, which was going to be a 3-day conference based in Dubai, managers coming from around the region. when I came into the meeting room, they sort of said, "Oh, here you can plug in your laptop here," and were basically asking, "Can you run through the programs that you could do for us?" I said, "Sure, happy to do that, but do you mind first if I ask a few questions just to make sure that what we do is actually going to be a fit for what you're looking for?" They said, "Sure, fine." Didn't plug the laptop in. In fact, interestingly, they'd confirmed the program by the end of that first meeting, and I never actually had to plug in and show a video or show a PowerPoint slide at all. Because my job, my mindset was, how can I help them make a decision? So I just started asking questions which were exploring what they were trying to achieve, where the team was now, where they were needing it to be, why were they doing the conference in the first place, what were they expecting as a result of the conference. And out of that, information came out that if I'd gone in trying to sell, I would never have discovered. We probably would have ended up doing an event at the end of the conference. But in the end, we did a much more substantial, more strategic team building program at the very beginning of their conference. And at the end of the half day session we ran, that leadership team were just so grateful that we'd actually not sold them what they had asked for, but had actually helped them make a decision that ended up making a massive impact. And now I just followed up a few days ago last week with the HR director, and everything that had come out of that meeting is now part of their whole strategy moving forward.
Yeah, it's just beautiful when you see that the minute you come in to have that sales meeting and they ask you, tell us about your programs, and you can feel yourself sort of do this little push forward and pull back and say, no, actually, I need to find out a little bit more about you. Because at the end of the day, like you said, if you go over there with your list of items, then you're pigeonholing yourself. But more importantly, you're pigeonholing holding the potential customer. And the results just can be almost poor because of that. And you being able to have that experience and say, no, let's talk about you, and not even having to show anything on the computer is a beautiful way to be able to service the client. And obviously, it led to great success.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that sort of works hand in hand is realizing that none of your solutions actually have any value in themselves. So they're worth nothing unless they actually solve a problem for the client, or they help the client achieve something that is aspiring to achieve. So if I can't find a gap, then I'm not going to even present a product because it's not going to be perceived as valuable. So, having that mindset, want to help you make a decision. To do that, I'm going to have to maybe even push back a bit when clients want to jump to solutions, and be a little bit brave to say, well, I could do that, but do you mind if I just understand if what we do is actually going to be of value to you first? And I can't remember a single time a client, a B2B client's actually said, no, that's not acceptable, just show me the options. And then when those questions start uncovering gaps and needs, then I know, well, at some point during the meeting, I'm going to have some value to be able to show to them, because I know which product or solution will solve that particular issue.
Absolutely. Great, Dave. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Good luck to your clients. Thanks, Jen.
If the sales tip that Dave and I discussed today resonated with you and you have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment box below. Otherwise, if you just like this video, please push like or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.